Hello, hello. Hey, Flaviu.
Hi, Johnny.
How's it going?
It's okay.
Just okay?
Yeah. With the insulation, with the virus, all of this, it's kind of lonely, maybe.
Yeah, don't worry though. You got me now.
Yeah, it's not. It's nice talking with you again.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure it is. I'm kidding. I'm used to this kind of stuff though because I work from home and all that sort of stuff. Like this quarantine stuff is not any different for me. It's not
Yeah,
very different. I mean, the main difference that I see, because I'm used to working from home and everything, is um there's less pollution. I
yeah.
I can
That
I can go
that's
outside and get some fresh air and it's nice and clean. So I like it. So I'm not
yeah.
complaining.
We can learn a lot from this experience.
Yeah, it's a giant social experiment, right?
Yeah.
All right, so let's see. Lesson. Which lesson to do? Have we done this one on minimalism?
Yes, we did.
We did? Oh, okay. Well, let me see. What about what about this one? Can money buy you happiness?
Sure, we can do that.
Great. Can money buy you happiness? Great. Cool. So, anyway, what's new apart from the quarantine? What's new with you?
Nothing new. Still in the same position. I'm searching for clients.
Okay. Have you had any
Yeah.
success? Like, have you been able to find a few clients at least?
Uh, Actually not.
Hmm.
I'm the process of uh, actually uh, get a client to trust me. It's is kind of very long,
So you need to establish more
and
trust.
yes, and it's hard when uh, the communication is not so good. I mean, when I need to talk about technical stuff, it's the communication is very hard. You know,
Did you recently have an experience that you struggled with?
yeah, I actually had one last week,
Mm-hmm. And
and yeah, it was after when I had the interview. It was, I mean, I felt okay, but after I review it, it was kind of awkward.
well, you know what? In that case, maybe we can do the lesson on. Have we done this one? It's titled "Cultivate Professionals."
No, we didn't
Let's do this.
do that.
Let's do this lesson instead.
Okay.
I think it's going to be more applicable to your situation. It's about how to interview and stuff. Cultivate professionals. There's actually one of my friends. She does interview prepping and stuff like that, mentoring. So I had a little collaboration with her, and we worked together to make it into a lesson.
Nice. Sounds good.
All right, let's jump into some reading.
Okay. How to move up in your career. Get 10 plus interviews a week and land a higher payer paying job in less than 30 days. If you have a specialized resume, networking prowess,
Prowess. Yeah.
salary negotiation skills, and know what to say in the interview, you'll easily land the job you want and make more money.
Very good. So is that the situation you're in was like an interview for a job, or was it trying to make a sale with like a client?
It was something in between.
Like a contract job?
Yeah, yeah.
I see.
It was a short-term contract job.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Well, maybe this will still help in terms of that. All right, moving on to some more
Yeah.
reading.
Okay. To move up in your career, you need to break through today's competitive job market. It's imperative that you have a specialized resume, a custom cover letter, great networking strategies, and expensive social media presence to make it to the interview round. To land the job, you need to ace your interview. To make more money, you need to negotiate your salary.
Good. So, do you feel like your social media portrays you in a good way, in that a potential recruiter will have a positive image about you?
Yeah, yeah. I had uh, many recruiters said that it was an awesome profile, that I had an awesome profile. That's why I got in a lot of interviews.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, it was like very hard.
And what do you think was, or did you get feedback from them, say, like, telling you what you could have improved on?
Yeah, actually, on an interview that I did, uh, the person that interviewed me said that they won't go further with me because I said a lot of errors in the interview.
What? Really?
Yeah, yeah,
Wow. And was it an online interview or in person?
it was online.
I see. And did you do it over like a video chat like this, or was it just voice?
Yeah, yeah, exactly like this.
Interesting. I think what they're trying to say is, although you might have said a lot, maybe that's
Yeah,
a sign that you're unsure of yourself, and maybe they're looking for somebody that's like more confident in general or
yeah.
something. Or maybe you're just nervous. I don't know. That could also be a possibility. All right, let's move on to some vocabulary.
Okay. Prowess, skill or expertise in a particular activity or field. Eye-catching, immediately appealing or noticeable, striking. Breakthrough, achieve success in a particular area.
Mm-hmm.
Imperative, of vital importance, crucial. Expansive, covering a wide area in terms of space or scope, extensive.
Very good. Any questions on this or anything so far?
Uh, Prowess is like I never heard it before, never encountered it before.
Well, it was used here in this paragraph here.
Yeah, I know.
Um,
So it means skill or expertise in a particular activity or field.
mm-hmm. Yeah, so if you like, let me use it in an example sentence.
Yeah.
If you're good at programming, then you have prowess in that field.
So it's something like similar with proactivity.
I wouldn't say productivity.
Proactivity.
Proactivity? I don't, not
Yeah.
necessarily. I would just be like, I would say like you have experience in that field.
Okay.
Let me find some other words that another more synonyms for you.
Okay. So it's not extensive experience, but some experience.
It's like being good at, having
Yeah.
skill, having a ability. Here's a bunch of other words that kind of
Yeah.
expertise. I think it might be the best one.
Okay.
Prowess can also kind of talk about how you're like very efficient, like you're very good.
Yeah. Yeah.
What would you say is the like if someone were to ask you where or what, let me phrase it better. What skill do you have the most prowess in? What skill do you have the most prowess in? Essentially, what's your best skill?
Yeah.
And if you were to answer that question, what would you say?
Uh, I have the most prowess in Java programming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if you were to say that in an interview, that wouldn't be good enough. You would have to follow up with maybe some examples and explain why.
Yeah. That would be hard.
So if you
And
were to try to give some examples or explain why, what would you say next?
mm, so I would say that I have 4 years of experience in work in developing and designing Java applications,
Mm-hmm. And is there?
building REST. Yeah,
Sorry, go ahead.
it's okay. I would have continued with the.
Yeah. Go ahead and continue.
So, uh, 4 years of experience in building Java applications, REST APIs, and distributed systems. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And if I were an interviewer, what I would ask next is probably, um, is there a particular achievement that you're proud of?
Okay. Yeah. Actually, in the last job, I I was in charge of developing an application that monitored Wi-Fi networks, the performance of them,
Mm-hmm.
and the challenge was to combine different technologies, different programming languages in order to uh, implement a specific service in order to manage that. I don't know.
So, what was the end goal? Like, what did you achieve by the end of this project?
So implemented a service that monitored the performance of network of Wi-Fi networks.
Okay, so you were able to measure how much data was being used and how well it was
Yeah,
being transferred and that sort of stuff.
yeah,
Mm-hmm. I think that's how I might phrase it. So, to make it sound better, instead of saying
okay,
monitor performance, you can say tracked um, data traffic and analyzed um, results. Sounds much smarter.
okay,
There's all these
yeah,
keywords that you can use when you're talking to people that make it sound like you're much smarter than you actually are.
Okay,
Anyway, let's get back to this. So, fill in the blanks.
sure. I will read first words.
Yeah.
So convey, eye-catching, relevant, professional, certification, and design. First, you need to have a modern and eye-catching design that captures the employer's attention. The point is to use a design that is uh, yeah, maybe the first word wasn't the, the correct one.
Okay, so which one do you think fits for the first one? If it's not eye-catching,
Modern and professional design
mm-hmm. So for the second one,
is eye-catching.
good.
So that is eye-catching while being professional in order to make a first good impression. Once you have a good design,
Good.
you will not only get the employer's attention, but you will also make it easier for them to read.
Yeah.
The structure of the resume should be put in a way that is most relevant to the job you are applying for.
Yep.
If a certain certification is required for the job, you need to make sure it is listed at the top.
Mm-hmm.
While a pretty design will get you noticed, you need good content to convey your value and let the employer know you are a good match for the job.
Good. Any questions on this?
I'm not sure about convey.
So, you need good content to convey your value. If you... Oh, convey isn't listed as one of the words.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, to convey is to communicate. To
Okay.
demonstrate your value, right? So let me use it
Yeah, I
in
understand.
an example for you. So, um, uh, in order to make sure that you're understood, you need to clearly convey your intentions. I want you to try making a
Okay,
sentence using the word convey as well.
sure. Hmm, in order to uh, in order to convince the interviewer that I'm the most fitted for the job, I need to properly convey my skills, uh, or
Yeah,
something
so
like that.
in order to convince the interviewer that I am the most fitted for a job, I need to properly convey not your skills,
My skills, my
my
skills.
skills. But there's another mistake here in this sentence. Do you see it?
In order to properly convince the interviewer that I am the most fitted for the job. Maybe I would change that most fitted for the job to, to something else
What do you think it should be changed to?
that I am.
I'll give you a hint. best.
The best man for the job, or
You could say that. So, in order to
yeah,
convince the interviewer that I am the best man for the job, I need to properly convey my skills. Good. Alright, let's go ahead and move on.
awesome.
Let me take a quick look at what we got. Okay. So, a little bit of reading. Go ahead.
Yeah, you do not need to be a writer. You just need to entice the reader to continue reading your resume in order to get the details of the claims you've been, you've made in your summary. Your professional summary should be 4 to 6 sentences long and include a summary of your skills, work experience, and achievements as they pertain to the job opening.
Mm-hmm. Any questions on this?
Uh, I'm not sure about entice and pertain.
Entice and pertain. So, entice is to like is to
Get
lure.
attention of, oh,
Let me find some other words for you. Like to convince them in a way, like to attract,
yeah,
tempt, seduce, to lure, attract, seduce. So in this sense, you're just trying to attract them to read the rest of your resume with that
yeah,
professional summary. And pertain. So you have to list your skills, work experience, and achievements as they're related to the job opening. So how they relate. So related in this case.
yeah, interesting words.
Mm-hmm. So now that you know the definition of these words, I want you to try using them in a sentence.
Yay.
I want you to choose one and make a sentence from that word.
Okay. I would choose pertain
Okay.
because I found it the most difficult. Uh, I would go to some events that pertain technology, something like that, that pertains technology, pertain.
So I would go to some events that pertain technology, that are related to technology.
Yeah,
Um, Let me see if I can give you a better idea of some words. So relevant. So to be relevant to. So a way that I might rephrase this is I would go to some events that pertain to pertain to technology in what way? Elaborate this a little bit. It's not necessarily wrong, but it's just not
yeah.
clear.
To innovative technologies.
Yeah. So innovative technologies. Good. Can you read that sentence back to me?
I would go to some events that pertain to
In,
innovative technologies.
innovative. Innovative.
Innovative,
Good.
innovative technologies.
Alright. Now I want you to use the word entice.
Okay. Hmm. Uh, Usually, when I'm interviewed, I tend to entice the interviewers to skills that I acquired uh, by working on production ready software applications.
Okay, so usually when I'm interviewed, I tend to entice the interviewers to skills that I acquired by working on production ready applications.
Yeah,
There's one word that I would change here.
and interviewers or
I would change this word too. Usually
to
when I'm interviewed, I tend to entice interviewers. Which word do you think fits better here instead of to?
so usually when I'm interviewed, I tend to entice the interviewers with the
Yeah, just
skills or with yeah,
with skills that I acquired by working on production ready applications. Cool. Can you read that one back to me?
sure. Usually when I'm interviewed, I tend to entice the interviewers with skills that I acquired by working on production ready applications.
Perfect. Cool. So now you're going to be using those on a daily basis, right?
It would be hard. It would be a challenge.
Don't worry, you'll get there. All right, let's do a little bit of role play. So I'll do part B and you can do part. Actually, sorry. I'll do part A and you do part B. Actually, wait. I'll I'll do part B. You do part A. Go ahead whenever you're ready.
Okay. Hello, Mr. Phillips. Thank you for having me here today.
Hello, Andrew. Glad to have you. So can you tell me a bit about yourself?
Sure. I specialize in. Can I complete with whatever? Or
Yeah.
I specialize in software development, and I have experience in Java. In my free time, I enjoy meeting new people and playing board games.
Thank you. And what makes you unique?
Well, the combination of my deep understanding in designing software products and expertise in using the Spring framework is a perfect match for this job. I also feel that my personality fits this type of work.
Good. Interesting. Do you have examples of previous work related to this position? Cool. Any questions on this slide?
No,
Okie dokie then. So now some questions for you. Go ahead and read that first one.
okay. What should you bring to an interview? Should I answer it or
Yeah, of course.
so? I usually bring when I usually when I no when usually when I'm interviewed, I have a small notebook and a pen
Mm-hmm. A notebook and a
and
pen. Yeah, what else?
yeah and I know uh, I'm usually interviewed online, so it's kind of what I have around me.
Yeah, so you pretty much already have everything, right? But let's
Yeah,
just say hypothetically speaking, what else should you bring?
well, I I don't know. I don't really know. I
So
mean, you need to have good clothes. You need to look like you're very organized and
you should look
something
professional.
like that. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. That kind of answers the second question. But
no, didn't
let's,
even notice.
yeah. But if I were to continue with the first one, what about like your resume? Don't you think that's important to bring to an interview?
Yeah, but usually, from my experience, when you go to an interview, they already have your resume. I mean,
Yeah, maybe. But sometimes they forget to bring it with them. And you might say,
oh,
I have extra copies of my resume. Would you like an extra copy so you can look at it as we speak?
yeah,
So that's an
that's a
option.
good example. Yeah,
Shows that you're prepared. Also, a cover letter. You can bring a cover letter
okay,
along with your resume.
yeah,
What
interesting.
what else can you bring that makes you look more professional?
From
This is like the cherry on top. I don't think you might not get it.
so, what would be the cherry on top?
The cherry
Um,
on top.
that's cherry. No,
Yeah, bring an actual
uh,
cherry. So,
I don't know.
what I would recommend as the cherry on top is a business card.
Yeah, I was thinking of it, but
Why didn't you say it? Here's my business card in
I
case you're curious.
I know I had you gave me one
Oh,
last
you're
time.
right. I did. I did indeed. I forgot. I think I might need to make more. Okay, so the
Yeah,
second,
that's a sign.
I don't. Yeah, it's a sign. I don't know if it's a good sign or not.
I think it's a good one.
Maybe. I guess. Okay. So second question. You said look professional. How would you describe that?
Yeah. So in case you don't usually have a beard, then you should shave.
Yeah.
You should shave it. Uh, you should smell nice, look very clean.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, maybe a shirt or a polo T-shirt.
Yeah, like a polo shirt or how would you describe? I think the shirt that you're trying to describe is called a button-up shirt. They have buttons, you know?
Yeah,
Oops.
didn't realize that they are called differently.
Yeah, so a button-up shirt is specifically these kind of shirts that have buttons.
Yeah.
They're also called dress shirts,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, interesting. I usually just call them shirts.
No,
So
no, no. A shirt, a normal shirt is just a normal t-shirt. That's what a shirt is.
okay, okay.
So it's not the most accurate description of looking
Yeah.
professional. What about your pants or your shoes? What kind of pants or shoes?
So it depends on the job
Mm-hmm.
because if you go like for example for an executive job, you will dress very classy
Yeah.
and with some uh, no like classy pants and button up shirt with with a tie, maybe.
Maybe with a tie.
Yeah,
Yeah. And maybe also a blazer.
yeah. Oh,
Or you can have like a full suit if you really want to look professional. Yeah, so the pants, I would describe them also as same as dress pants, right?
okay.
That's how you describe those professional pants, you know. Or they're also
Yeah,
called slacks.
slacks.
Yeah.
I find this word funny. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's these professional pants are called slacks,
Okay,
at least in American English.
interesting.
In British English, I think they're called trousers.
Yeah,
But we
and
don't in
I
Americans never say trouser. That word is never used.
yeah, but do you use like kino pens or something like that
What was that?
to?
Kino?
Yeah,
How do you spell that?
isn't
Kno?
yeah.
Kino pants.
No, no, with C, not with K. And kino, just like it's not like that. It's like
Camo? C.
Chino.
Ah, Kino.
Yeah,
I've heard of this before. I think it's a type of material. Yeah, it says coarse twill cotton, and I think they have this type of. Yeah, this is. I would consider this casual or business casual,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
So that would be considered business casual, which is fine depending on the job that you're interviewing for.
yeah. As if you go for to an interview for a programming job,
hmm
a kino would be much suited.
It would be. For a programming job, there's people that go in with t-shirts and shorts, but
Yeah,
I don't recommend that. And if you do an interview online, you don't even need to wear pants. But I don't recommend doing that because you have to put yourself in the right mindset.
yeah. I will actually try that.
Not wearing pants?
Yeah,
For all I know, you could not be wearing pants right now, or I could not be wearing pants right now.
yeah.
But it would be kind of cold, so I wouldn't do that. Let's go to that third question. Go ahead and read it.
Okay. What else can you do to ensure a smooth interview? I usually try uh, to keep my focus on the person that interviews me,
Mm-hmm.
and to stay calm and try. I also try to be conscious of what I say, how I say it. But it's
Mm-hmm.
not. It's hard to do that.
Okay. I'm curious, did you have the chance to record the interview that you were in last time?
Yeah,
And did you
I record almost all of my interviews.
and did you listen to it?
Yeah,
So what did you notice about the way you said things in that interview?
I think that I say a lot of us in the interviews.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have a note in front of my uh, I mean behind the laptop that says uh, that I should use less us and
So I think that's a good idea, but I think subconsciously seeing that note reminds you, and it gets into your subconscious that you will say it more.
oh,
Because
okay,
it's like a technique I learned online. If you say, don't do whatever, you're going to be more likely
Yeah,
to do that. Instead, you should do the opposite. And you should say, do more better, something better that you can replace that with. So instead of saying
interesting.
yeah, instead of keeping a note that says you can say something like be mindful of your be mindful of your what's a better word? Be
Of your
verbal communication. So that way you don't get reminded of the fact that you say a lot.
Yeah, I will actually note that.
Good. And it takes a mental like it takes like a active energy to prevent yourself from saying but like I said in that public speaking thing, you
Yeah,
have to it's better that there's empty air than you filling it with right?
yeah, that's also a thing because I find that
See there you said it
there's a
again.
lot. Really?
You said because I
Yeah, I tend to say after some words,
mhm.
even if I don't need to.
Yeah, you just became used to saying it so much.
Yeah, it's awful.
You'll get used to saying it less and less. You just have to keep practicing and you have to become comfortable with the fact that there might be like empty air. Nobody is speaking for a few seconds. And there's nothing
Yeah,
really wrong with that. Some people aren't used to that. It's like an uncomfortable sensation.
yeah, and there's also the fact that there's a lot of time gap between my words and between the sentences. That's also a thing that I noticed.
A big time gap between like when you're thinking about it and when you actually say it, or like an actual gap because of the
No,
internet video thing.
no. It's just maybe I'm thinking of every word that I say, and not it's not uh, coming in a flow way. Like I don't know how to explain.
Yeah, I know what you're trying to say. I have the same problem when I speak Romanian.
Yeah, maybe it's similar,
Yeah, what you have to do is you have to keep practicing until it becomes
natural.
exactly, it becomes uh like second nature. And it's the same with like when you practice self-defense.
Yeah,
If you've ever done that, I did a little bit of self-defense, and they
mm,
said that it,
not really.
when you're in a situation where you're defending yourself, it's not about actively knowing what you do. It's about practicing the motions so much that it just becomes second nature and you impulsively react. Same thing when you're speaking a language. You have to just impulsively react.
Yeah, but it's hard to practice alone, you know.
Yep, I know.
Do you have any tips on this or
On practicing when
anything
you're by
that I,
yourself.
yeah, yeah, or maybe practicing with others? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, it
now
helps.
it's
The more you speak, the better off that you'll be. So if you find opportunities to speak English and get exposure to where you can create in English, that would be ideal. So if you don't already do so, maybe you can try writing some stuff in English, like a article post or a blog post or something like that, very short and
that
easy.
that's actually a thing that I do. Last week I was accepted on the big article website with the technologies that I work related to the technologies that I work, and I'm now writing the first article there.
Good. Yeah, so that will definitely
Yeah.
help. Something else you can do is record yourself speaking. Just record yourself speaking, not video.
Okay.
And then listen to it later. Maybe you can also record yourself speaking and trying to have like a goal in terms of what you're trying to say. Like you're trying to convince someone of
Okay.
something within a certain time limit and see how well
Okay.
you can communicate that. But if you can try to just get more exposure to other people speaking, you can listen to people, like listen to podcasts in English.
Yeah. I actually listen a lot of uh, English speaking people, but yeah, it's not doing too much thing. I listen to them for a couple of hours every day, but it's not like doing anything because I'm not practicing it. I just listen to it, and somehow this is practicing my understanding of English.
Yeah.
I think that's what I think.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking is the best thing that you need, like practicing
Yeah,
that.
I will try to practice speaking to not really speaking to myself, but actually uh, like public speaking, but only for myself, you
Mhm.
know?
There's all sorts of groups online where you can just talk to each other, practice speaking. You can do that sort of stuff. I thought about making these types of groups for my students, but the problem
I
with
would be
that,
interested.
maybe I'll do it. But the problem with that is that sometimes the students are on different levels of English and they're not interested in talking to each other.
Yeah.
But like some students will be much higher level, others will be much lower. So you have to make sure that they're on similar levels. But there are,
You can make it like just like a game, you know? You can make different groups of different levels. And then if if someone will be able eventually to speak better in English, then they will advance in the next group.
yeah, but who's gonna maintain that? Who's gonna determine what level they're
Yeah,
at? Blah blah blah.
that's that's a thing that you will need to invest time in, and maybe you will find someone who will be able to invest time in it. Someone else.
Yeah, but it's gotta be worth it for them. Either way, I thought about that before. I just haven't got around to doing it because I have other things I'm trying to focus on. Anyway, let's go to this next question before
Okay.
we don't have any more time. So go ahead and read that first one.
Yeah. What do you think the interviewer is looking for? I think one of the main things that an interviewer is looking for is uh, I don't know, hmm, uh, things that proves your skills.
Mm-hmm. So things that prove your skills.
Yes.
Okay. So they want to see proof that you can do the job. What else do you think
Yeah.
they're looking
Something
for?
like that.
I mean, once they know that you're good enough to do the job, what else might be important for them?
Uh, Another thing is your character. I mean,
Mm-hmm. You so maybe your personality?
yeah, that would be the word.
Yeah, character, personality. Another way of saying that is like culture fit, right?
Yeah, they I actually encountered. I mean, I didn't get to the interview to that part of the interview, but there were like companies that had uh, like 4 or 5 interviews, and the last one was a culture fit interview. That
Mm-hmm.
was actually how they called it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's definitely pretty important. I mean, depending on the job, if it's a completely remote job, it might not be that important, but it still is, in my opinion.
Yeah.
What about for you? Second question. What is most important for you
Okay.
in a job?
For me,
Yep.
the most important thing is that I have the I have the opportunity at that job to evolve,
Mm-hmm.
to learn new things, and to improve my current skills.
Mm-hmm. And how do you identify those?
Well, usually I look at the description of the job and search for a combination of technologies that I am skilled in and technologies that I don't know very much about,
Okay.
but I am interested in.
Mm-hmm. I was kind of leading to that third question though. Maybe it'll help.
Okay.
I
What
w
kind of questions? Oh,
No, go ahead, go ahead.
did you want to? Okay. What kind of questions might you ask the interviewer?
Exactly. So let me rephrase it as well. Like, what kind of question might you ask to identify the
Okay.
opportunity to evolve and learn new things and improve your current skills?
Yeah. So I usually ask them if they are uh, what would be my responsibilities if I get the job,
Mm-hmm.
and how would I interact with other things that are outside of my responsibilities, like components of that application that I'm not responsible of, and how they encourage like uh, skill improvement or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So if you were to give me like your top three favorite questions when you ask in an interview, I want you to tell me the exact phrasing for these top three questions that you would ask.
Okay. I would want to know what will my responsibilities be, or
What will my responsibilities be? Okay, another question?
how do you encourage your employees uh, to improve themselves?
Mm-hmm. Okay, one last question.
And I would like to know, or yeah, this is an affirmation, not a not a question.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, can I say it like that, or it should be a question?
I want it to be a question.
Okay. Will there be any interaction with other teams?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, those are good questions. The thing about these questions is that um, they're very easy to respond to.
Okay.
The most important thing in these kind of situations is asking the right kind of questions. So, for
Yeah.
example, I might ask, what are some of the biggest obstacles for obstacles for someone in this position? That way,
Okay.
you'll understand what are some of the most difficult things about that job. Or can you give me some examples of how people in a similar role have been or have demonstrated success so that you can understand what success means to them?
Yeah. Oh, I actually think that those questions are mind blowing. I mean,
Yeah, I've done quite a bit of interviewing, so I know what to
yeah.
ask.
But I will, after this lesson, I will actually have an interview,
Really.
and maybe I will get a chance to ask these questions.
You
Yeah,
I
at
really recommend
4 o'clock.
asking these questions. What are some of the biggest obstacles? And can you give me some examples of how people in a similar role have demonstrated success? And another thing is, what is your um, what is the timeline like for this position in the next 2 weeks, 1 month, and 1 year? The reason why that question is important is because it makes them visualize you already being at the company. So they're already imagining you
Interesting.
being there. Yeah, it's a sales tactic.
Nice.
Another one is, how do you or how does your company measure progress or give feedback? Because that's how you actually improve.
Yeah.
Cool. That pretty much brings us to the end of the lesson, but I have a quick homework activity for you. Have I ever given you this homework activity where you have to do the three
No.
sentences?
No. No.
Okay, so I'll give you this quick homework activity.
Sure.
So I want you to do three sentences. I'll give you an example. So the example is going to be, I walked my dog down the street. So the first sentence that you do is going to be simple. The second sentence you're going to do is going to be, I meandered down the boulevard with my canine companion. And then the third sentence I want you to do is going to be even more descriptive, but I want you to maintain the same message.
Okay. Yeah.
So, on this beautiful and sunny spring day, I took my golden retriever by the leash and hopped along all the way to the park, to the nearby park, to the nearby park.
Yeah, interesting way
So,
to say the same thing, but in different at different levels.
exactly. I want you to do that. I want you to do this
Okay.
three times, right?
Yeah.
You have access to this Google Doc, right?
I don't know.
Okay, I'll share it with you again. I should have sent it to you, but yeah, I'll send it to you.
Sure. Thanks for that.
And then before our next lesson, I want you to do that homework activity. And speaking of which, when do you want to schedule the next lesson?
Are you available in this weekend or
I don't
you
work on the
don't?
weekends.
Awesome. It's nice. Uh, then next week on Monday, if it's okay for you.
Let's see. Let me also add one more thing on here. Next week on Monday. Yep. What time?
Well, let me see. Uh, oh, I looked at the Phoenix time. Okay. Hmm, at 14 at 2 o'clock.
Perfect. Let me add you on here. Great. So before then, I want you
Awesome.
to do that homework. So total, you should
Sure.
have 9 sentences. So you do those 3 sentence activity 3 times. You can just put it here at the top of the Google Doc.
Yeah, I'm actually very excited to do this task.
All
I
right
mean,
then. I expect perfection.
oh no.
I'm kidding. All right. All right. I hope you have a great rest of the day and a good weekend. I'll see you next week.
Thanks.
All right.
Have a great day, you too. And stay safe.
Yeah, you too. Bye.
Bye.